This is the Reimagine Richmond Podcast, imagining our power to transform our visions. We know the system is broken, but we are not. We keep each other safe. In this series, community members will share their stories of safety and how they reimagine Richmond.
Welcome back to another episode. My name is Carmen La Superpoderosa, community organizer with Reimagine Richmond.
And my name is Miguel, Richmond, California resident, student, and organizer of Uplifting Resisting Voices. This is our episode, Future of Reimagine Richmond, with our two guests, two youth from Richmond. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Justin. I'm currently a rising senior at Richmond High School in Richmond. I live in San Pablo, but I live in Richmond and I have family members still living in Richmond. And I'm currently a part of Richmond High School marching band, robotics, debate team, an earth team, oiler crew, and a happy member of Reimagine Richmond, and happy to be in this podcast.
Hi, my name's Halima. I'm a incoming freshman at CCC. I just graduated from De Anza High School, and I'm happy to be here.
So you guys both mentioned that you guys are residents of Richmond and you guys both attended school here. So what do you guys love about our city?
So about our city, I just love the diversity of Richmond. It has like so many people of many backgrounds, and even though they have their different values and different cultures, they still have a sense of pride and unity in this community. And I just like how big it is, because I'm a very big explorer, and there's many parts of Richmond I didn't explore yet. Hoping to explore and see more of this great city has to offer.
I really love the nostalgia it brings me. When I think about Richmond, I think about being with my grandma, I think of being with my family, my uncles, my grandma's house. We lived out here, going to the park, riding bikes, just a lot of small family members when I was little.
What do young people need to feel safe and healthy in Richmond?
So, in my opinion, I think what young people need to feel safe in this community is definitely like more organizations to reach out for them, because many people are probably don't know many things about their city. So organizations that could help them socialize, get educated on the city, and just to have fun and do community building is a very good sense of safety in the young people. And for health reasons, I would definitely say that there should be more like hospitals and affordable Medicare for low-income students, or for all Richmond people, because medical care and Richmond in general is very in low income. So more Medicare for affordable for young people and everybody is like very helpful for them, and it could help them physically, mentally, and socially.
Yeah, to build off what he's saying, I feel like community organizations reaching out to youth is very important, because a lot of youth don't really know about the community orgs and what they have to offer. So if they come in high school or whatever grade and tell them about themselves, then it could incline a lot of youth to come in and be a part of those orgs. And I also think that youth just really need people willing to listen to them. A lot of people underestimate the power of just a listening ear.
So we talked about youth needs. Now moving on to what resources does your neighborhood need to improve safety and the well-being? And if you could choose how the city spends money in your neighborhood and community, what do you wish they would invest in?
I wish they would invest in the homelessness population. I feel like just building them back up, how to get a job, and having them a place to sleep, somewhere to eat, somewhere where they can take care of their bodies. I feel like that is what we really need to invest in at this time.
I definitely agree with Halima's statement about investing in housing. In my community in San Pablo, even though it's not in Richmond, it's near Richmond, I have so many homelessness I see on the streets and have no homes and just walking around my neighborhoods. I hope that Richmond would at least won't follow San Pablo's problem and will actually solve a housing problem for Richmonders and the homeless, provide more homeless shelters and affordable housing to those low-income families and and residents, and yeah, just invest more in a lot of housing. It can be apartment and a mobile house, whatever. There should be like more housing for everybody, so that it could be, so that streets could be safe, should be clean, and everybody should have a shelter and a home to stay.
Yeah, and elaborating on that, how can the community build a system of care for young people, and in what other ways can the community members' needs be met without, police?
Like I mentioned before, community organizations or nonprofit organizations such as Reimagine Richmond is very useful. Like as an alternative to police, community members such as firefighters, teachers, or other students even could become create organizations for youth and could help them with jobs, and or whenever the youth needs something, they could just call them and they could address their problems, and without feeling any type of pressure from police. And yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. Having someone your own age to talk to about the problems going on, whether that be in school or with your other friends or at home, and also teachers or other community members around your local neighborhood to talk to, and that can actually be there for you since they live in the same region that you live in. So I feel like a lot of community.
I have another question. I know you mentioned a lot of organizations. My question is, where will the city fit in this? Because I know we do have a couple organizations, but my question is just like, what do you think the city should be doing about these issues?
I feel like the city needs to go out. They need to talk to these talk to the people that deal with these issues on a day-to-day basis. Get those stories. Let them tell what they've been yearning to tell. A lot of people walk day to day having these problems just in their head and never coming out the mouth. So I think just having that opportunity.
So the city of Richmond can help these issues by, coming together and helping these organizations help do their role in the community. An example of organizations in Richmond High School is the Earth Team. They basically I'm part of Earth Team, and we basically just help Richmond students to address environmental issues, and it'd be nice for the city to help spread awareness of our organization, so we can help educate others about environmental issues in our city, especially with Chevron in our city, including our city. And
now to redirect our focus back to youth, what do you guys think is the biggest issue that youth are currently facing in our city?
I think youth are facing homelessness. I think youth are facing toxic households. A lot of youth can't really speak about what's going on at home without fear of getting in trouble. Because after you talk to a youth, the next thing that, a lot of people are mandatory reporters, so they will go back to their parents, and that can make situations even more worse. So I think youth are facing toxic households and being pushed out of those households into the streets.
for me, I think the biggest issue right now is unemployment. As know, for instance, from my experience, I know many youth who are college educated and got job experience through internships and through entry-level jobs. I don't have very qualified jobs because Richmond High School is limited to many qualified jobs and a lot of big jobs in general. So I think if the city could provide more qualified jobs, like quite a degree, or simply like a job like plumbing or construction, that would be very perfect for the youth, so that they could, easily get their job and help them support their family and themselves.
Yeah, and what power do you guys have to solve these issues?
Well, we're the youth, so I think the biggest power is that we're very vocal and influential. Like many youth are now in the social media spreading awareness, like through social media, through text, phones, very technology based, and we just basically have the power to influence like our people empowered in Richmond, like a city council and mayors, and influence their decisions on law making and try to enforce laws that help our agenda, the youth agenda.
Yeah, I agree. We have the power of youth power, people power, and we can get into orgs that are focused on passing laws or passing bills to help our city. and things like that. I feel like their strength in numbers.
So what is the most special gift that young people can offer to the community and the movement like Reimagine Richmond?
I think young people can offer the power of their voice and the power of being willing to learn. A lot of youth are more open than people think. A lot of people are willing to understand, listen, and just know something they didn't know before. And after learning what they didn't know before, to go out and tell others and build that people power and make more noise about the issues going on and the problems that they face on a day-to-day.
So for me, I definitely think the most special gift the youth could offer in this community is definitely volunteering, a helping hand, or just simply getting involved in the community, because many issues are being talked about around the youth and around the city, but they're not getting solved. No one is officially getting involved to help them. So even a little volunteering, cleaning around the city, helping business owners with their with their business it really means a lot, even though it's a little help. So the youth getting involved in the community and helping others can give a great impact to the city and improve a lot of issues and just improve the city as in general and build stronger unity in our people.
Yeah, so you just stated, helping the community, volunteering, sharing their voice as a gift. So what advice would you give to other young people on how to share that gift?
Yeah, so definitely I will advise youth to always, like she said, to be willing to be mindful and open-minded to any type of volunteering or any type of role you want to help in the community, and just have great time and have great time at volunteering and helping others in the community, and just enjoy it, because you are actually doing a great job to your fellow community members, and you're showing that you care about them and you care about the city.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I would say don't be afraid to join these orgs. They want to work with you. They care. So even if you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to, I don't know if I might, just clear those thoughts and just go. And trust me, you won't regret it.
So now to touch upon your creative side, how do you reimagine Richmond?
Man, I reimagine Richmond to be away from Chevron, definitely. Finally, they have been on our backs for many years, and because of them, we have very pollutions and so much poverty. But without them, I hope have a greener city, cleaner streets, and a better environment for our new future generations, and more jobs. No more at least little improvements on the poverty issues, and just a better, stronger generations ready to continue on improving our city and making it a better city and have more pride and fighting against prejudice.
I agree. Just done with Chevron. And a greener city, and just being 10 times better than it was when I lived in Richmond. I just want it to be good for the new generation, so they don't have to worry about the problems that we had to face.
Yeah, and if you can say anything to the community of Richmond, what would you say?
So I would say to you, the city of Richmond, thank you for opening my eyes and pushing down my prejudice away from you. I used to thought that Richmond in general, the city and the community, are just full of lazy people and just all the negativity of ghetto people and just bad overall and low income. But now my pressures are aside, and I see that your people and your city are just full of actually hardworking, strong-minded, family-minded people who are just fighting and surviving every day. And I just appreciate all the opportunities, organizations and movements you've been offering to people, and keep on improving your city. I'm totally glad that I'm a part of you and attending a school in Richmond. And I'm sorry for having those prejudices inside of me against you. And I will continue, hopefully, be a permanent resident in your city and keep on improving you and on the community.
Yeah, I'd also like to say thank you. Thank you for all the memories you've given me. Thank you for all the times I've went to local shops and ate their food, talked, laughed, just the great memories. And thank you for opening my eyes to the problems going on, like food deserts and pollution and all that, which I didn't know before until I actually went into community organizations who told me about this. And I feel like Richmond has really given me a sense of pride of where I came from, pride of what I feel that Richmond is going, and like hope.
Thanks for tuning into Reimagine Richmond Podcast. A special thanks to all the community members who made this podcast possible. Reimagine Richmond is a movement pushing the city to invest in life-affirming resources and programs. To join the movement, visit our website at reimaginerichmond.org.